All right, let's go out and look at the garden. Okay, I haven't done a garden update so far this year, so here it goes. This is the blackberry patch, and it has gone insane. It's hard to believe that a year or two ago this was just 3 little plants. 1 that I purchased and 2 that were given to me. But look at them now. Wow, keeps getting bigger. Gee, this is good. Okay. Planted some raspberries. They're not doing fantastic. A couple, 3 of them have taken hold. And excuse the weeds, I haven't cleaned over here yet. 1 of them died, but they're not terrible. All right, this is the strawberry patch. They've done pretty good this year. The wife has gotten several batches of strawberries, and by the 2 pints at a time usually, so it's pretty good. Now, if anybody thinks my garden is clean constantly and pretty and never a weed, that would be wrong. But I'm on vacation this week, so I've had time, so I've been out here today. I've pulled all the weeds. And you'll see some of them laying in the beds where I've pulled them out of the path, or pulled them out of the bed and laid them down so they get to be part of the mulch. There's the rhubarb. 2 of these guys are doing famously. The 3rd one's not bad. This little guy is still alive. That's about it. And there's last year's onions laying there drying out. A few of them got a decent little bulb, but they won't be very good because they got the flower stalks. All right. We still have a growth in the potatoes. They're still green. I'm about ready to go ahead and pull them anyway. But, they're still going. So, sugar snap peas are gone. I've quit watering them. I got a couple of weeds in this 1 bucket, but no big deal. I'll yank them out when they dry out. Now this bed is our melons. These are cantaloupes. So far, these have not done a lot. And then we've got some little sugar baby watermelon plants. Close in on one of them so you can see. I've got about 8 of those planted. They've just now started to look like they're going to vine. So I don't know. They didn't do bad. They haven't done great. But that's okay. Couple of 3 marigolds here in front. And the squash. My God, that thing has grown. Green beans. Green beans are looking all right. They messed up for a while. I had hardened them off, and I was ready to put them into the garden. The only problem is the day I planted them, and I was running late, like I generally do. Here is the squash. We don't know what it is. It has a little squash or 2 in there starting now. Don't know. When I find out, I'm going to let you know. The lettuces, get around on the side that's not so sunny. The red is doing okay. The green's not so good. So that's kind of what's going on in the garden. Oh, I was telling you the green bean story and forgot. Okay, the green beans were doing okay. And I planted them out. The problem is the week I planted them, when they were still pretty vulnerable, it went from, high 70s, low 80s to 90s. So some of them cooked a little bit. I don't think more than a couple died, but some of them did cook a little bit. They looked pretty sick for a while. But now they seem to have seem to have recovered. So, of course, the asparagus. Here's a fresh one I saw coming up this morning. The asparagus is doing good. And we've got our 4 tomato plants. And there's a few tomatoes on them. They haven't done famously, but I don't know if you can see in there, there's a few tomatoes back in there. And a few starting here and there. So, you know, not too bad. We'll see. They've got time yet. I'll poke you back in the cage if I can get you there. All right. So that's what the garden looks like today. You don't need to worry. I'm not one of these guys that's going to start posting a video every week. But I'm on vacation. I've got extra time. So that's what I'm doing this week. Here's the new bed I built. I'm getting ready to start covering this with copious amounts of rabbit manure. That's what I'm going to do basically to kind of fill it. It won't be completely full for next spring, but it'll be ready. I'll just pile all the rabbit manure, which is cool mulch, or manure, right in this bed, right on top of the hay. And then come next spring, I'll remulch it, and off to the races it'll go. Okay, now I wanted to cover one question. I see a lot of stuff on Facebook where they're saying, hey, which is better, straw or hay? And there's arguments to the extent of, well, maybe hay has more weed seeds in it or seeds in it. I can tell you this. I have one for sure thing I notice, and one thing that I believe. For one thing, the hay is finer. It spreads out nicer, and I think it seals down better. Once it's rained on it a little bit, it don't move. Where the straw still kind of be loose on top and blow around a little bit. So that's one difference. But another one, and this is my opinion, but I bet I could be proven out. Straw is where they've harvested, say, wheat, and that harvested wheat has been allowed to lay in the field, the stalks, and it dries, and then it's drawn up and baled. Okay? And wheat is a crop anyway where you let it run, you let it grow until basically the plant dies. And that's the point when people get their harvesters out and take care of it. So, but hay, on the other hand, is green growing grass that they cut, that they pile up in windrows, and then bale once it's dried out a little bit. So I'm thinking that the hay that was actually green growing plant material and then it's dried and baled probably has more nutrients in it than the straw, which was basically the plant was allowed to die before it was cut. So I think basically all you're getting is mostly stems, and so I'm thinking that's the deal. The hay, a little more nutrients, and a little nicer to work with. Well, all right, that's about it. Like I say, I just have extra time this week, so you're forced to, you know, here's another video. Y'all have a quality day.